Hey guys, it's Beginnings here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week so far, and happy Labor Day to everyone who actually celebrates it. Today's video is going to be another Xeniel video. You guys asked for it quite a bit, even though it was like the second video I released after I started making videos again, and I decided to just shut up and stop questioning it and give you guys what you wanted. This is another solo queue support video. I'm going to be playing Xeniel. It is kind of risky because you have to take a decent amount of farm as Xeniel support to actually be tanky, and even then you're still only a tank, right? So this is a risky pick for sure, especially in this game against like a Florentino and a Nakaroth. But it will work out, don't worry guys, we're professionals. We immediately walk over to the Nakaroth thread and go ahead and see that he started on that one. That means that unless he goes buff to buff, he will be ending his clear on the bot side of the map. I immediately head over to my red because I see that Shognar is missing from the map and he's the only one that is missing from the map. I knew it would take him quite a bit of time to try to finish that. We're just going to go ahead and poke him out as much as we can. We go ahead and knock him down to about half, and Kafni is starting the small camp thinking she's going to be cheeky. Rourke manages to rotate over and gets that last little hit, allowing us to get level 2. We go ahead and knock them both up, pop our shield, giving them a nice little explosion. Kafni's enchantment pops and she just lives with the smallest sliver of HP. We finished off the Chognar and Nakaroth arrives just in time for us to kill the Chognar and also take a small camp because it is a 1v3 and he is not going to be able to fight us. Slims is smart and immediately flickers over the wall. The Crixie knocks us up, or knocks the Rourke up, but doesn't actually achieve anything. We managed to survive our pretty spicy level 2 invade. That was a pretty good call, and it was smart for us to know our limits without being too risky. We know that the dragon is going to be the next really big objective up, and I assume that's what the Rourke is going for since he does not rotate up as the Sentinel is spawning. So I know that me going over there is just going to end up being me 1v2 against their jungler and their Darkslayer laner, and I really don't want that. We end up not going for the dragon at all. The Ignis gets jumped on by the Nakaroth, and I immediately try to trade onto the Crixie. We managed to knock her to about half HP, which is not bad for support, you know? Now I really just want to start soaking as much as possible so I can hit level 4 as soon as possible. This is a pretty big power spike for me. I was debating going top, but then I see that Enzo is only level 3 and we're really not going to be able to do too much here. That is until I see that the Rourke is camping. I'll go ahead and make my way over, knock up the Florentino, and we finish him off with the explosion from our shield. We want to pressure this tower, but I know it's going to be kind of rough because it is the Darkslayer lane and it is just before 3 minutes. It just now lost its damage reduction, so it's going to be a pretty close one when we're trying to take this tower. We managed to finish it off, trading it for dragon, definitely worth. I immediately checked to make sure that the Slims is not going to be dying to any ganks. I know my ult is up and I am ready. I am watching, just waiting for them to try to dive my poor little Slims because I protect, okay? So we start making our way down just in case, but nothing really happened. The top tower is gone, which means that we have quite a bit of pressure on the map now. The Nakaroth manages to get chunked out pretty well, and I ult the Ignis just in case they were going to go for a spicy little dive. The Slims gets chunked out quite a bit. They pop like 3 different ultimates. I knock up the Florentino and the Chognar. The Florentino will fall. The Slims lived with a quarter HP, and that was super close. Unfortunately, we will lose this bot tower because nobody was there to catch the wave. We all rotated up to fight. That was kind of a bad call. It's not worth ever trading a kill for a tower, even if it is a side lane tower and it's kind of bound to go down anyways. The Kafni walked a little bit too far up and got hooked by the Enzo. We go ahead and wait for him to toss her before we jump in with our dash. We finish off the Cafney and immediately go for this little Sentinel. Florentino thinks that he is going to be cute, and boy, he sure is the cutest person I've ever seen, because he just destroyed us, and I'm not going to try to piss him off any more than he already is. So all three of us with our egos and our HP bars hurting, we're just going to go ahead and back off a little bit. The Rourke is super greedy, and I accidentally canceled my recall. We do manage to save the Rourke, but the Florentino will end up getting away. It's fine. We kind of had to waste our ult just because the Rourke was greedy, but I mean, we didn't lose anything. It's better than him dying. All he has to do now is walk back to the base. It's just a small amount of time lost, and he can go right back into his jungle clear. Our early game kind of sucks. I don't know if you guys noticed. We have an Ignis, we have a Slims, we have an Enzo. Our only really good early game hero is the Rourke. Everyone else is pretty late game. We're at kind of a stalemate at this point in the game. This is really just where everyone is waiting for someone to make a misstep so you can punish it. As you will see here in a second, we chunk out the Chognar a little bit, but Rourke walks a little bit too far up. He pops his ultimate, but it is not enough, and he will fall, unfortunately. Slims does live with a really small amount of HP, which is pretty good for us. Enzo comes in to save the day. Him and Ignis manage to finish off the Florentino. I ulted the Enzo immediately just in case. The Cafney lives with the smallest sliver of HP imaginable until Enzo dashes in and manages to tag her with that last little auto attack. The Nacroth heads over and pops the Enzo's Death Sickle, but Enzo will still die. The Nacroth lives with everyone lives. I'm so sad. This was the longest and the most anxiety-filling fight ever. The Ignis dies because he overchased. The Crixie has no mana and is chasing me. I thought the Slims was going to be able to kill her, but he was chasing the Nacroth instead. Guys, it's never really a good idea to chase a Nacroth. Anyways, he's super squishy. I mean, super slippery, and he just has a lot of mobility. My ult's up in about 5 seconds, so I'm watching this Rourke just to see what's gonna happen. He pops his ultimate, and I'm trying my hardest to spam the living hell out of my ult, but it is just not going off. It eventually goes off. The Enzo jumps in, but it is tagged way low. He tries to finish off the Nacroth, but he gets way too much shielding. The Nacroth is slowly going to melt me down until he jumps back to finish off the Rourke, and that'll be the end of that one. We are hurt pretty bad. 3 of us are down. The only 2 left alive are me and Ignis. We have waves top and mid, which means that we are definitely going to be losing some towers, but we cannot give up hope. We have pretty good defense between the 2 of us. Ignis can clear a wave pretty well, especially if it's already knocked low from my little combo. Slims clears the top tower. Ignis gets dove mid. The Florentino gets knocked pretty low, but it's not enough. The Slims walked too far up and got knocked really low as well. We finished off the wave. The Cafney, we pop her enchantment and she gets really fast, so she lives. The Rourke is chasing, obviously, and he died. So yeah, another overstep, another overcommitment. You've probably noticed a trend in this game / video, and it's that our Rourke is not doing too well, but it's fine. Can't put all the blame on just one person. Right now it's only 6-11. We are only 8 minutes into this match, so it is really anybody's game at this point in time. Here I am just defending and clearing waves where I need to. As Xeniel, you can kind of take this like side lane, like split push kind of role where you're actually just like the defending side lane. Your team can defend 4v4, that shouldn't really ever be an issue, and all I have to do is clear waves on the other side of the map and not fight. Basically all I'm looking for is for the enemy team to either collapse on me or try to hard engage for a fight. It looks like they're doing so right now, and I am just watching, waiting. I cleared the wave that is on top of me. I see that the Slims immediately gets chunked out, so I ult in, trying to disrupt the fight. I managed to separate the Florentino from the rest of his team, but he is just too tanky. He just does way too much damage. The Nakaroth jumps in, but is immediately knocked down to 1 HP. The Slims will finish him off. I jump in and knock up the Crixie, who then pops her Arctic Orb. She will die immediately after. The Kafni and the Chognar are the only two that are really causing us issue right now, but they will survive as well. The Ignis will clear the Dragon top lane, and we will clear our waves. I was debating going in there, but the Kafni was a lot higher HP than the last time I saw her. The Florentino gets really, really greedy for me again. This is the same dude who kind of inted for me in my last video, and it seems to be a common theme here. The Kafni gets way too far up, and Ignis lands a really, really nice combo, and they finish off the Chognar and the Kafni. That means they are 2 down, with the Florentino being very low as well, which means that they basically have 3 off the map right now. I see that the Enzo is fighting the Florentino, and I'm just watching and waiting once again, just in case the Florentino tries to commit for a fight here. And he does right about now. I go ahead and jump in, and I don't knock him up because he ulted the Enzo immediately, but I do ult the Enzo for that little bit of HP and that damage reduction. The Florentino will finish off the Enzo before he dies, but we do get the trade kill in return, and boy, that is a big trade kill for us. That Florentino is rough. He is a strong boy. So I know my team can defend the mid waves and the bot waves, especially since the enemy team with their strongest carry dead most likely isn't going to be looking for a fight right now, and I'm watching and waiting, making sure. I don't have my ult right now, so I cannot overcommit for any of these waves. I know I will have to recall pretty soon. I see that the Rourke is recalling, so I stopped my recall, but then I also saw that Florentino was respawning and the enemy team was looking for a push on that bot tower, so I might as well just go back. My team can defend the mid tower, but we do have another wave coming in bot. We see that there are 3 top right now, I think, maybe only 2. I wasn't really sure. It's kind of just a pink blur. But basically, the only 2 aggressively situated people are the Nakaroth and the Florentino. I immediately ult the Rourke, but he is just way too squishy, and he falls. I get chunked to about a quarter HP, but I do survive, and that's great for us. My team is going to try to clear the mid tower and does succeed, I think. The Enzo does a really, really good job of chasing down the Nakaroth and finishing him off. The only threat right now that the enemy team can go for is the Dark Slayer, but they don't have their jungler, so it's going to be pretty risky. They do have a Kafni and a Crixie, so I'm just making sure that they are not going to go for a sneaky little Dark Slayer. The Florentino already ulted, so I'm not really worried about him killing me, especially with the Slims rotating up. Unfortunately, Slims misses his spear, but that's okay. We still have a ton of pressure, especially with their jungler being dead. I see that the Enzo is in their blue side jungle, and I'm assuming he's going to rotate towards mid with the next wave, especially since we seem to be pretty set up for it. Instead, he goes for bot, and my team is clearing mid wave. I probably shouldn't have jumped in there just because my team really wasn't in position to follow up. Unfortunately, we do die here. In fact, not only do we die, but Ignis and Rourke die as well. That really sucked. The game is looking really rough right now. It is up to Slims and Enzo to defend and clear. And oh my god, this Enzo destroys that Nakaroth and that Kafni. He manages to get a double kill, 1v3, and this Enzo is carrying, guys. That is exactly what he is doing right now. He just managed to single-handedly save that game off of our mistake, and so that's always a great thing to happen in solo queue. It's always very reassuring. It always ups the morale, and I genuinely believe at this point in the game that we can definitely win. We can definitely turn the tides. We just need to get that one good pick. It's at that point in the game where it's anybody's game, you know what I mean? My team is burning down the Dark Slayer. There are still 3 dead, 2 of them just respawned, and there is no threat to them taking this Dark Slayer from us. We have pretty good waves, bot and mid, and we are now pushing into the topside jungle. I wish the Rourke would have dropped the dragon a while ago. We jump into the 3 of them. We managed to burst down the Caphne quite a bit. You see she's about half HP. The Nacroth is split pushing bot, and we still have not dropped the Drake. I don't know what's going on. I pinged the Enzo saying that I will go to defend this wave, especially since him getting a pick for us is kind of our win condition. But instead, all three of our teammates dropped down towards mid, and the Rourke dropped the Drake top. I don't know why. That was the biggest waste of resources I've ever seen in Conqueror Ranked. Guys, that was really bad. In fact, it probably extended the length of this match for a decent amount of time, especially if you're against a team that knows how to defend. I immediately ult in on the Slims, who was really low. That means that we are one down. We're not going to be able to fight unless I see an opportunity on the Caphne. I immediately jump in. She gets chunked back down to about half HP. The Enzo finds a really nice hook and finishes her off. The Florentino jumps back onto me, but he does not do enough damage. I knock him up. I burst him down with my shield. The Slims is back defending against the Nacroth. The Nacroth was unsuccessful in his push and is pushed into us. We knock him up and we try to catch him with our shield, but he does survive for a second. We see the Enzo is right there in his path. That is a solid 3-for-0 fight, and we do have waves coming down mid relatively soon, but then the Enzo gets another pick onto the Crixie, and we will push down down bot for the victory here. The only person standing between us and victory is the Chognar and this single minion and this tower. I'm just going to go ahead and tank for the tower, and the game will end there. This was a super close, super adrenaline-filled game, and it was so much fun to play. I hope you had as much fun watching this as I did making this video, and please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, guys. I will see you next time. See ya.